I ain't even gonna hold y'all. Seems like Battlefield is going back to the roots, or better yet, they're going back to the basics, back to the drawing board, as you can say. Because we already know what happened with 2042, right? 2042 was a disaster for us as players and a disaster as for EA. And I'm sure both of us, players and EA, don't want to go through that again, right? So why would they make it again? So best thing for them to do was to go back to the drawing board, and that's exactly what they did. What's up, y'all? My name is Maurier, and we're talking about the new Battlefield news that just came out. It came out yesterday, but I'm covering it today. I'm sorry that I'm late, but I will be updating y'all on what's to come about Battlefield. So if you want more Battlefield news, make sure you subscribe for more and like the video. All right. So first off, we're going to start off with Battlefield. The new Battlefield game is being developed by 4 studios. We already know DICE is leading the multiplayer. I believe this studio is responsible for Need for Speed. They're responsible for the multiplayer. I don't know what games Motive actually made. I believe that I know for a fact they made at least one Need for Speed. I don't know Ripple Effect, and there's a new Battlefield experience. So lately, for the past couple of Battlefields, at least these last 2, they've been trying to do something new. I'm guessing they're hoping something sticks. They're kind of just throwing stuff at the wall, right? But nothing been sticking. Firestorm was absolutely terrible. I don't want to hear nobody be like, well, Firestorm is actually pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. No. It was pretty bad. Maybe it was just the map. I don't know, but it was pretty bad. I do like the fact that it was fire instead of just gas, though, you know. But I thought it was pretty bad overall. Hazard Zone is pretty bad in my opinion. It just seems like a carbon copy of an extraction zone. It seemed like they didn't put no Battlefield on it, but just an extraction shooter or whatever. I didn't think that was pretty good. Portal was the best thing. I thought that was going to stick because it had the foundation. They just didn't add to it. They didn't expand upon it. They didn't add more Battlefields. I don't know if they didn't add more maps, but I know at launch I played it for a little bit, and I feel like they should have kept going and going and going and going. They should have supported that throughout the whole thing, because that would have made people go back and play. Let's say I'm new to the franchise. I buy 2042 on sale. I get to play Portal. Oh snap! What is this from? This is from Battlefield 3. I might go play Battlefield 3 just to see what it was like. I might go play Battlefield 1. No, but they didn't expand upon it. I feel like they should have kept adding more Battlefields, added more maps, and added more stuff. They should have kept, add more game modes to it. They should have just expanded upon that pretty much. So we'll see what happens. I'm not too thrilled about this because I feel like Portal was the one for them, but who am I? I'm just a person that just got a PC, a microphone, and just reported news. I'm not the game developer. I'm not getting paid to do that. But people, this is what they're doing. They got a modern setting. That's pretty good. If you play Battlefield 3/4 or even seen gameplay, you know what to expect. This is the best era of Battlefield. In my opinion, this era was even better than Call of Duty. In my opinion, I had more fun. I don't care what nobody say. I had more fun playing this than I think Battlefield 4 dropped when Ghost dropped, so I stopped playing Ghost, even though I thought Ghost was very mid. Very mid. I didn't think it was terrible, but I didn't think it was good neither. But I was playing Battlefield 4 a lot more than Ghost. All Out Warfare, so we got, I'm guessing that means like Conquest, Rush. Hopefully they bring Operations back. And then we got the vehicles, the jets, the planes, the tanks, the boats, and all that other stuff. Maps are going to be more akin to previous Battlefield, so the maps should be better. Keyword here is should. Now, Battlefield 2042 maps was very bad. They were very open. I'll just say that. Now they're not as open because they went back and fixed them, but they shouldn't have to do that. Shouldn't have to do that in the first place. All right. I don't think they should have spent the first year going back to fix maps. They should have been able to just add more maps or, add more things, but they had to go back and fix everything because the maps were pretty bad. The game felt rushed, even though it was, because they had a lot to deal with. So I'm blaming EA for 2042, but still, the game was, I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, the game was actually pretty good if you think about it. No, it was terrible. At release, it was pretty bad. 64 players. That's their sweet spot. They tried 128. The maps just didn't hit. All right. The gameplay just didn't hit for me. It seemed like the maps were so open and so big to where, what's the name of that map? It's a, like, I'm not even gonna tell you the name of the map because I don't remember, but I do remember if the map was, if it was too open for me to run, and if I didn't have a vehicle, or like it wasn't a big pack of us trying to run to another one, I wasn't really going anywhere because I wasn't trying to get picked off by a sniper. I wasn't trying to get shot down by somebody hiding in a bush or a random building or whatever. I just wasn't willing to do it because then I would be running for a while just to get shot down. So I was typically just defending my flags, and if a flag was pretty close or somewhere in the area that had some cover where I could maneuver through, or at least some bushes I could maneuver through, I probably wouldn't do it. It depends on where my teammates was at and all that. You know how that stuff works. No specialist. That's pretty good. It's actually, I would prefer no specialist over 64 players. Even though these two here, these two right here is something that shouldn't need to be said, but I can understand why they tried to go 128 for the next gen. I can definitely understand why. Now, as far as next gen, I'm hoping that this is for just PS5 and series consoles, and PC of course, but because I feel like a lot of games are being held back by last gen. Last year on the last Battlefield, I believe only last gen could play with last gen and next gen could play with next gen and PC. I think that's how it worked. I'm not sure. They made an update, but I believe at launch that's how it worked. No specialists. The reason is the gadgets was like, it just made no sense. There was no teamwork. You could essentially be whatever you needed, you could be it. And that's not really how Battlefield worked. Battlefield was more kind of, we work together, even though over the years they kind of took out that team aspect. But Battlefield was supposed to work like medic going out the health packs and reviving people. Assault is supposed to be destroying everything and everyone. I was going to say infantry. Support was more like giving out ammo and suppressing people from a distance. And recon was kind of like the sniper class and kind of spotting everyone, make sure everybody was on the map, standing in the back, picking people off. All these were supposed to work all together to get the objective complete. That's really how it was supposed to work. There might be somebody coming in the comments be like, well, you don't know Battlefield, because if you know Battlefield, you could definitely tell that these Battlefields, you can do everything by yourself. Yeah, whatever. Battlefield, there was a reason they had a class system, and each class had their own respective gadgets. They had their own gadgets. You know what I mean? Anyway, natural disasters and events. I actually thought that was something really good from 2042, was the natural disasters and events, because it was kind of like, when it came, you didn't know where it was going to go. You was kind of like, oh snap, okay, I see the tornado, is it going to come towards me or not? So you could be in a whole gunfight and a tornado come. Yeah, it'd be annoying, but it was like, for me, it was like cool. I was like, damn, now everything's all messed up, my map's messed up and all that stuff, and it was pretty cool. That's the one thing I really enjoyed. I think they should have brought the Battlefield 5 movement. Personally, me, I thought that was the best movement, unless they have their own rework of movement. But I think Battlefield 5 movement is the best movement in Battlefield. It just felt really good. You could crouch run. It just was very smooth. That was the one thing I could take from Battlefield 5. It was that Battlefield 5 movement. It was very fluid and smooth, and it was just kind of like you could slide, but like, I don't know, it just wasn't too much in Battlefield, because Battlefield isn't exactly like Call of Duty, but they have the movement to where how like Call of Duty kind of has now. But we'll see if they expand upon it. We'll see what type of movement they have. And we already went over the studios that it's been developed by. And Battlefield Universe, they're pretty much they're gonna do a new experience. We already went over that, and then I'm guessing they're gonna have a more interesting story. Battlefield stories really don't hit like that for me. It's like, oh, it's not terrible, but compared to Call of Duty, it is terrible. Next year release window, so 2025. If at the time of recording this, we already know it's 2025. But if you're watching this way back then, or I could probably be reacting to this back then, yeah, this is when it came. This is me recording the video. I don't know why I said that. All right, we don't know why I said that. I just said that. This was just on my mind. But my thing is, GTA 6 is supposed to come out. So if they're do not try to rush this game out, because if you do and it ends up like 2042, you're done with this. This franchise is done. So what I hope that they do is, okay, if GTA is gonna release in the fall of 2025, right? And based off everything, it seems like it's gonna be the holiday or somewhere close. I would say, hey, might want to push it back to 2026, maybe the beginning of 2026, or, you know, I don't know, because it's going to be GTA, then it's going to be Call of Duty. I mean, you're probably going to compete with Call of Duty like you did with Battlefield 1 usually do, because Call of Duty right now don't have any competition. You were bigger back then. Obviously, you didn't really sell as near, but Battlefield 1 did have that quality wise. But I think that 2026 would work a lot better due just to GTA 6, because if you get too close, nobody's going to buy your game. And then there's going to be a lot more people interested in Call of Duty rather than Battlefield. And I think you should release in that window of the dry period, probably like the springtime. Usually it's a dry period in Call of Duty around that time. So I don't know when they're going to release it. I'm hoping that they don't rush it. I'd rather you push it back to 2026 of the holiday rather than sit there and try to rush it out, because if it ends up like 2042, this is done. This is done. Yeah, you can try to fix it or whatever, but it's pretty much they play test the game every week. Not really excited about that, because the way developers play and the way players play are two different play styles. But they are releasing a community program next year, so or at least they're planning to. And due to that, that just tells me that they want to try to make this the best that they can. Hopefully it is on, I'm hoping that it's on at least everything, to where you can get kind of a lot of people's feedback. The people that's probably going to be playing a community program is probably going to be the more hardcore Battlefield fans. So to me, this sounds pretty good, but we all know how 2042 release. I'm not here to hype you up. Personally, I'm not hyped. It's just, this sounds good. We already know what happened. All right, this is not the Battlefield 3 era where they dropped two good Battlefields back to back like they were Drake. They're not Drake. All right. Actually, they're not. Like after that, Hardline came out. I thought it should have been more of a DLC. It'd have been better. It'd have been better received, but it was their own game. What was it? I think it was $60. I think it might have been 60. I can't really remember. So Battlefield 1 kind of was like, they knew what they were doing, and then it kind of just fell off from there. So they can't have another one. They can't. I don't think it's gonna still as well as they once did, but we'll see, because people are kind of like, they're not even trying to look at it. Like, obviously they're gonna put the news out, but a lot of people are like, I'm not really gonna look at it because of what happened with Battlefield. So they're like keeping their eye on it, but they're not looking at it. So if it was like, what I mean by that is, I'm looking at my life, right? I'm looking at my daughter, I'm looking at Tommy, but let's say Battlefield is over here trying to show. I'm not gonna turn my head. I'm gonna just turn my eye. Like, okay, I see it. Until you catch my attention, then I'm gonna be like, all right, what is it? You know, what's going on? What we doing? What I mean by that is, people aren't excited. People are more reserved because of the 2042. But maybe just maybe once you start showing actual gameplay, not this CGI trailer or the gameplay trailer, once we start seeing like actual people playing, maybe we're gonna be like, okay, all right, I got it. Because 2042 had a lot, not 2042, Battlefield 1 had a lot of hype. A lot of people was playing it. Beta was actually pretty good. A lot of people was playing it, and got a lot of people excited. And that game was pretty good. 2042, not so much. But yeah, so that's all I got for you guys. My name is Marie. If you love Battlefield or just hoping to see more information, subscribe, like the video, because more is coming. And one thing before you go, let me know what was your favorite Battlefield and what was your favorite thing about Battlefield. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.